Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler every series of videos I do for the water. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie, we're getting a little bit fancy with this one. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That is not the case in this instance. I actually picked this item up a couple days ago. I went over there, I was doing some stuff around the house, and I realized that I needed some supplies, and it was getting a little bit late in the day, so, my normal options were starting to get ready to close. But there was one spot that was open an extra half hour earlier. It's a place called Angelo Caputo's. And they're kind of like a higher-end supermarket chain. I don't know if they're outside Illinois or only in Illinois, but, and I've reviewed stuff from them before. They're a nice spot. It costs a little bit more, but you can get some nice things there. And they tend to have some neat, fancy items. So, as I was on my way to checkout, I saw these off to the side, and I was like, all right, that looks like a thing I could review. So what are they? Boom! They're these things! Yeah! Let's get a thing for the thing, kind of. Ha 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 ha! What the fuck are they, though? They are Specialita Italiane soft toffee with licorice from Calabria, Italy. No colors added, natural flavors, gluten-free. So I guess basically it's fancy toffee with licorice in it. Yes, okay. It's got some stuff. Close your eyes and enjoy the wonderful taste of the Specialita Italiane candies. No colors added, only natural flavors, gluten-free, no animal gelatin. Soft toffee licorice from Calabria, Italy. Sure, man, why not? Italy, cool. I like Italian cola, as it turns out. The mole cola, which I really enjoyed. Go watch that review if you're interested. Alright. And here's the thing. The reason why I was, kind of into this idea, I really like licorice. I'm one of those weird kids who, when the teacher would pass out, jelly beans, I'd be the one always asking for the big-ass, black licorice one. Looks like this. I like the packaging. I really do. You get, a little thing of Italy on it and stuff. It's very... Yeah, and it even says the thing. They're proud of their stuff, and I appreciate that. So... Definitely get that licorice hit. Yeah. It is exactly what it says it is. It's a nice licorice flavor mixed in with the toffee flavor. That's really nice. I like these a lot. Toffee's nice. It's chewy, but it's not like I'm not struggling while I'm chewing it. It's a nice smooth toffee. I definitely like the type of licorice that they're using for it. It's it's definitely there. You're definitely tasting it. But it's a little bit more subtle than, again, like a black licorice jelly bean. It definitely still has that nice licorice flavor, but kind of mixed in with the toffee and everything. I wouldn't say they exactly even themselves out. And it's a flavor combination I've never really thought of, but it's really nice. It definitely sort of tastes and feels like kind of an old-timey candy. That's sort of where I'm going with it, because you think toffees are kind of an old-style candy. Licorice is definitely an old-style candy. So it definitely sort of has an old world kind of flair to it. But that can be fine. Like, I like a lot of old style candies. I love a Werther's Original. I don't give a damn. With these, I like them. I think they're really tasty. And they're simple. You know, like, it's one of those things where, you know, sometimes simple is best. Go over there, get yourself some, you know, some good tasting toffee. And the toffee is definitely really nice. Get yourself some nice tasting toffee. It's easy to eat, you know. Like I said, it's not like it's chewy, but it's not like overly so or anything. And just put some nice tasting licorice in there. I know for some people that just doesn't work in their heads, but you know, for people like me, it's nice. And I like the way that the flavors, they kind of played off each other. They never really were the most cohesive. Like, it was always sort of the toffee with the licorice, you know. I wouldn't say, because licorice is just such a hard ingredient to really blend, you know, like whatever it sort of is part of, it's going to try to take over. And that's definitely the case here, but I think, again, because they were a little bit more subtle with it, even though it's still very prominent in the flavor profile, I think the toffee manages to slightly edge it out, and that there's a little bit more toffee flavor than the licorice flavor. But when you get those bursts of licorice, it shines through very prominently. I personally like them. I think they're really cool. Like, I'll say this, they are a bit much, even for me as somebody who likes, you know, licorice and stuff, and like even as it is, you know, a little bit more subtle with it. It's not something that I would gobble them down, you know, with like a great deal of frequency. They're more something I would keep one here or there as an occasional treat. But I do like them, though. Two questions have to be asked, though. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? I'm going to go with yes and kind of. For me personally, I would actually like to have a bag of these around the house. Because sometimes I really just, you know, like I get a hankering for licorice. Like, it's a nice flavor for me. I like the rooty aspect of it. You know, it's got sort of an earthiness. I 100% get why people don't like it. It's very love it or hate it. I'm just one of those people, I happen to love it. And so for me, like, this is kind of a perfect delivery system, you know? Like, I mean, because, you know, yeah, I could just go over there and get, like, some licorice or what have you. And, you know, it's good in its own right. But this, I like that it adds in a little extra dimension to it with the toffee. And I like toffees in general, so, like, it kind of works. So for me, I mean, yeah, I would get them again. Like, again, this bag will last me a while, for sure. Because it's not something that I'm going to want to, like, down a whole bunch of them, you know. But as a treat here or there, definitely very nice. If I'm recommending them, though, it depends on who you are. Do you like licorice? Sure, I'd recommend them to you. I think they're tasty, and like I said, I think the licorice aspect of them is very well implemented. And I appreciate basically everything that the flavors are doing in this. You know, it definitely, like I said, has a very sort of old world style candy about it. Old world candy style about it. But here's the thing. For the majority of other people who don't like licorice, clearly you're not going to want to get in on this. This will not turn you into a licorice convert. It's just, you know, even with the licorice aspect not being like super punchy in your face, it's still prominent enough that you're just not going to want to get into it. This is one of those things where if you're on the fence about it, you know, because like maybe you're like, well, you know, I kind of like, maybe I like licorice, I don't know, maybe I don't get it. Usually I suggest to people, just give it a go. But the thing is, in this instance, I think there's one of those things where you're probably not going to get into it. You know, if you're on the fence about it, I mean, try it if you want to, obviously, but I think you're probably going to be a little bit better served if you already sort of are inclined towards it. If it sounds good to you, you'll probably really enjoy it. Conversely, if it sounds like it's going to be something you're not into at all, it's probably not. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly licorice-tastic rest of your life. Because I don't care what anybody says. I like licorice. Licorice is good. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But What you do if you can't do all the time? I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Well, you know what? What's your opinion on licorice, folks? Are you into it? Do you absolutely hate it? Are you kind of here or there on it maybe some days under certain circumstances? I genuinely like to know because, like, I didn't even realize people didn't like licorice until, probably, like, sometime in grade school. Because that was legitimately when people, I'd have, like, teachers who would pass out, like, jelly beans and stuff. And everybody always wanted to trade away the black ones. And, that's when I started kind of, like, inquiring, and I realized, like, how few people really liked them. I think me and one other kid in the class were the only ones who liked those. So, typically, you would just trade. If you happen to get one, you just trade them to us. So, but yeah, I'd be interested to kind of see how other people feel about them. So, I'm a fan. Anyway.